Let's study for the California Notary Public Exam. We're going to go over 10 questions and the rationale for the answers. Let's get into it. Question 1. What is one requirement for becoming a California Notary Public? A. Be under 18 years of age. B. Have a criminal record. C. Not pass an exam. D. Be a legal resident of California. What do you think it is? The correct response is D. Be a legal resident of California. Well, go to your appointment and qualifications list in the California Secretary of State Notary Public Handbook. It's going to give you a requirements list. Also, remember, in California, an 18-year-old is considered a legal adult who can handle their own personal matters. So even though A was an option to be under 18 years of age, right away you know that under 18 would disqualify that as the correct answer. Have a criminal record. On the list, it lets you know you can't have a criminal record. And C, not pass an exam. Well, you have to know that you gotta pass that exam. Question 2. Your jurisdiction will be A, the entire state of California, B, the county in which you live, C, the city in which you work, or D, the entire United States. Think about that. When you are studying, you have to know what your jurisdiction will be because you're going to see a question on your exam, and they kind of sneak it in sometimes, but they'll let you know. You need to know what area you cover. The answer is A, the entire state of California. The entire state of California is your jurisdiction once you become commissioned as a notary in California. The rationale, you want to go to your Secretary of State Notary Public Handbook. Look under the Geographic Jurisdiction section, and it's going to state that the Commissioned Notary Public is able to provide notarial services throughout the state of California. I recommend you download or print out a copy of the current handbook. Look on your notary forms. This is an acknowledgement, and there is a space that says county of, and there's a blank line. You can put in whatever county you're providing your services in. So when I go to San Francisco, it's the county of San Francisco. If I go to Redwood City down the peninsula, it's county of San Mateo. Question 3. A possible penalty for committing perjury is A, 2 years in prison, B, 3 years in prison, C, 4 years in prison, or D, any of the above. Don't do that. Do not commit perjury. And if you don't know what that is, leave a comment and I am happy to do a video on that, but you want to avoid perjuring yourself. I'm not trying to spend time in prison, so my answer would be I'm not committing perjury, but here's the answer. Answer is D, any of the above. Go to your Secretary of State handbook, and again, it's letting you know that the penalty for perjury, say that 10 times fast, is punishable for 2, 3, or 4 years. It's going to depend on what the judge gives you. And again, I'm not trying to stand before a judge in any way, shape, or form. Let's keep going. Question 4. Okay. You have how many days to take your oath in office after your commencement date? So you will get all your paperwork in the mail from the Secretary of State. Once you pass your exam, you will get paperwork to take to your county office where you have to file and take an oath. You have time to do so. So is it A, 6 months, B, 10 days, C, 30 days, or D, none of the above? 30 days is going to be seen a lot when you're studying for your notary exam because, yeah, you're given 30 days. They look at it as a month. Question 5. If you request a new certificate of authorization, the state of California must respond within A, 1 month, B, 5 days, C, 1 year, D, 30 days. A notary sometimes will lose or damage They're sealed. I heard it happens. It hasn't happened to me. The answer is B, 5 days. We're halfway done with our 10 questions. Let's take a little study break. Always stay hydrated. Number 6, the agency of the state that will give you the new certificate is the A, Corporation Commissioner, B, Bureau of Notary Publics, C, Secretary of State, or D, Department of Real Estate. All those agencies are important and all of them sound really official. So some of us might be thinking it could be any one of them, but there's only one answer. Let's go. As a notary public, you're going to be dealing with the Secretary of State. So the answer is C, Secretary of State, SOS, Secretary of State, SOS. That is where everything for notary publics is going to trickle down from. Remember that. Question 7. Using the words notario publico, A is encouraged, B is legal in California, C is prohibited, D indicates lingual ability. Now, this is an interesting one because in California, there's a lot of Spanish speakers, and you're going to encounter clients who are Spanish speakers, and some of us speak Spanish, we're bilingual. And how do we then communicate in Spanish that we're a notary public? You want to know this one. Correct answer is C, is prohibited. There's a reason why. Using notario publico is the literal translation of notary public, and the Secretary of State prohibits that. This is because advertising in a language other than English follows strict guidelines. So you want to read your handbook and follow those guidelines. Your advertising in other languages must be very clear that you are not an attorney. You're a notary public, you're not an attorney, and you cannot provide legal advice on legal matters. Question 8. If a notary willingly and knowingly notarizes a real estate document that they know to be fraudulent, they are guilty of an A, misdemeanor, B, lis pendis, C, carpe diem, or D, felony. If you suspect that there is something fraudulent going on, you, as the notary public, need to do a hard pause, and you need to consult your resources. The answer is D, felony. And again, I'm staying away from judges and courtrooms, so yeah, D, felony. I'm not doing it. This is huge because if a notary files with the county recorder documents related to a single family residence, there's a fine of $75,000. I'm not doing that. I'm staying away from anything fraudulent. That's a lot of money. Punishable by law. So, yeah. And your client, if they're making a false sworn statement, say that 10 times fast, a false sworn statement, they're guilty of a felony. See, I'm staying away from felonies. Know that one. Question 9. Death certificates. A, must be notarized. B, are not notarized. C, are filed with the IRS. Or D, all of the above. You're going to get calls about every type of document there is out there. Death certificates is one of those documents that some people are going to call you about, asking you to meet them to have their death certificate notarized. Not their death certificate, but, for their family. The correct response is B, are not notarized. You can certify copies of powers of attorney, but not a death certificate. Hope you're doing good. We're at the end. This is question 10. A subscribing witness can bring you A, quitclaim deed, B, grant deed, C, mortgage, or D, homestead declaration. You better know what those things are. Correct answer is D, homestead declaration. Know these terms, know what they mean. They're all relating to real estate transactions, by the way. So know what a subscribing witness is. That's the first thing, because that's part of the question, right? So you need to know what a subscribing witness is. You need to know that quitclaim deeds, grant deeds, mortgages, those all have to do with real estate. So, a subscribing witness, and this is why this one's really important. A subscribing witness is a person who appears on the principal's behalf. So, a principal is the person that actually has signed this document. The subscribing witness is then coming to you saying, I can attest under oath that this person has signed this document and I saw them sign it. That's huge because you're dealing with someone on behalf of the principal. So a subscribing witness cannot be used when notarizing quitclaim deeds, grant deeds, and mortgages. Remember that, commit that to your memory, and know what all these terms are. I am so excited. We got through 10 questions. We're going to go through 10 more with the next video.